Egos. Everybody has them. There's an overabundance of egos out there. In fact, if it were a commodity, nobody would buy it, nobody would sell it, and nobody would trade it. Because it's pervasive. It is everywhere. And because it's everywhere, it is utterly worthless. Now, when we examine the internet, what we see is not just egos. We see egos amplified to incredible heights. We see people who become so self-centered and so full of themselves that they believe they are above us. And now, why is that? How do they get to that point? How do they get an ego so large that they believe they're better than us? Well, because of us. It's our fault. We have created monsters on the internet. We've created monsters on the internet by 5-starring videos. We have created monsters on the internet by commenting, by favoriting, by subscribing. Now, I'm not saying that you can't be a fan of something. There's nothing wrong with being a fan of something. But what I want to discuss in this video is one of the things that is killing the internet. It is egos. Egos of content creators. Now, I want you to sit back and think of this. Think of how many times you've personally seen this. You go to somebody's page. Let's take YouTube, for example, because it is the mecca of fucking egos on the internet. Let's say you go to a YouTube page, and it's a popular person. They have thousands of subscribers. And you're looking through their page, and they've got their videos, and they've got everything else, and then you look over at the description, and you see something a little awkward. In that description, they have something along the lines of this. Don't tell me what to make. Don't request anything. I won't sub to you. Don't send me a friend request. Don't comment about this on my page. If you're going to comment about this on my video, make sure it's about this. Don't ask me the music I use. Don't ask me the editing software I use. Don't ask me this. Don't ask me that. Don't ask me that. They set all these hoops up for you to jump through. Because don't you dare, don't you ever dare to offer criticism or feedback. We have let these people become self-centered because we feed their ego. And think of how ballsy these fuckers are. All right, they will sit there and they'll say, donate money to me. I need money. 5-star my videos. Subscribe. Comment. Favorite all my stuff. And then once you've done that, once you become a statistic to them, once you become part of that base that builds up this ego for them, they turn around and say, fuck you. Fuck you, you're not important. Fuck you, I'm not going to have a dialogue with you. Fuck you, I'm not going to interact with you. You are beneath me. You are not equal to me in any way, and I don't have to respond to you for any reason whatsoever. Now, they've got people on the, especially on YouTube. People on YouTube have gotten away with this shit for far too fucking long. Far too long. Because we allow them to get away with it. We allow them to get to this level of egotism, of self-centeredness. We allow them to reach this point where they think they're so good that we don't matter anymore. And, God forbid that you finally do, break free of that, mind control, that cult mentality and, say, wow, I disagree with this. Or, you could have done this better. Because what's going to happen? You are going to get flamed to hell and back. And why are you going to get flamed to hell and back? Because there are two types of fans on the internet. There is the fan who can take it or leave it. They might be a fan of something, they might be subscribed to it, and they'll watch the videos and they'll like them and they'll think, oh, that's artsy or funny or whatever the fuck it is that attracted to them in the first place. And then for whatever reason, if they just stop liking it, they'll walk away. It's a buffet to them. They sample a little bit here, they sample a little bit there, and they're done. On the other hand, are the fanboys. Now the fanboys I feel sorry for, because not only are they the cause of the problem, they are what perpetuates it. They have allowed, they've built into building up this ego. They have helped to make this person who they are, this egocentric asshole. And then they actually believe it when the person turns around and tells them, fuck you, you're not important. Now here you are saying, oh, well, you fucked up in this video, or, oh, you made a wrong reference, or you did something stupid. Whatever, you made a response, and whatever. You're throwing it out there. Maybe it's honest, maybe you're just being a dick, who knows. But you throw it out there. Now they turn around, because they're sheeple, they're not people, they're sheeple. They turn around and say, fuck you. How dare you insult the master? How dare you come into the house of my God and desecrate it with your unholy bullshit? And so you've got an army of these fuckers to deal with. Because they are so low on the totem pole. They have no self-respect or dignity that they believe it when they're told they're not worth anything. This is killing the internet. We've allowed these fuckers to get out of control. Absolutely out of control. They get these subs, they get these favorites, and they literally measure their self-worth by it. Think of how pathetic that is. Think of how pathetic it is to measure your self-worth by your view count, by your star count, by your sub count. What kind of life are you leading where that is what you measure your worth by? It's not the deeds you did or the people you know or the things you've done in life, but YouTube, of all fucking things, is how you measure your worth? That's fucking pathetic. And I see this everywhere, and it just drives me nuts. It drives me nuts because they have this sense, it's this entitlement that they think they're owed. They think they really are owed this, that we should submit, that we should bow down and recognize their genius, and they will go on rants and tirades about shit. They will blame us for drama. They will blame us for drama, of all fucking things. We didn't start the drama, motherfucker. You did. You did by getting out of control. Me telling you that you're out of control is not the drama. You throwing a fit and sicking your fanboys on me, that's the fucking drama. You're the cause of the drama, motherfucker. Not me. Not people like me, not other people on the internet who disagree with your bullshit. You are the cause of it. Don't turn around and tell me that I don't have a right to respond, or that if I'm doing it, I'm just some troll. And, that's another thing I'd like to raise. People come down on trolls saying they're fucking horrible. Some of them are. Some are just dicks to be dicks, which is humorous, but a majority of trolls, I think, are the ones who are really tuned into this. They've actually seen through the bullshit. They've seen these people get out of control, and they've decided to knock them down a few pegs. And they do it in different ways, but they take shots at them. They take shots at them to chip away at that superego and to drop them down to the to the level of a normal person. And of course that starts all sorts of shit. That's more drama on the internet. I love that. People throw that word around like it means something. Drama. So what? So it's drama. Deal with it, motherfucker. It's the internet. And this is the internet. The internet is founded on one fucking principle and one principle alone. I can. Do you like that? I like that. I love that. Why'd you do it? Because I can. Why'd you download those ROMs? Because I can. Why'd you get that illegal music? Because I can. Why'd you hack that account? Because I can. Because I can, motherfucker. It's the internet. Deal with it. Give me this shit about drama. And don't you dare attack me. You're just starting drama. Like it's some kind of shield. They raise this up like it's a shield to protect their ego. Oh shit, pull the drama shield out. Somebody's telling me I'm an asshole. And then, they send their legions of fans after you. The legion of fans who doesn't know they're being treated like shit. There are certain people, and I'd love to go into details, but it would it would start a lot of shit. But let's just say there are some people on YouTube who I know who have subscribers over 10,000 people, 15,000, 20,000, who intentionally, really think about this, they intentionally rob their fans, their subscribers. They lie to them to get money. They will make up sob stories and bullshit stories, and I actually have proof, fucking proof of this. And they rob their fans. And they'll actually say shit like, they're so fucking stupid, I just don't give a shit. I just want to get money. They'll fucking give me what I want. And these dumb motherfuckers don't realize it. These fanboys, these rabid idiots, don't realize that they're nothing but a jackpot to most people on YouTube. They're either paying them money or they're feeding their ego. So this motherfucker's getting what he needs. What are you getting out of it? You're getting a couple videos on a Sonic review? Or a couple videos on a rant you like? Or, maybe a high-pitched little fucker running around with 1 million subscribers talking like he's a 5-year-old who's been whored out by the Google God? Now, there are ways to fix it, but nobody would ever take the steps necessary to clear the internet of this shit. It would take a combined effort of people with multiple talents all coming together and coordinating an attack on this shit and just wiping it out once and for all. But God forbid that's going to happen. There's nobody with that kind of organization yet. I mean, you've got people who can do it, but they're having fun. They're doing their own thing. They don't, want a purpose. They just want to have fun, which I can't, I don't disagree with. Knock yourself out, but it is killing the internet. Try this experiment. See if you're a fanboy or a fan. Go through your subscriber list and look at everyone that you're subscribed to, okay? And go to their homepage and read what they put down for people who are fans of theirs. Read if they have these warnings and these, criteria that you need to do. And see if you put up with it. I want you to really examine who are you subscribed to and how do they treat you. Do they ever respond when you PM them? Do they ever respond when you leave a message or a comment? Do they ever accept your feedback? That's my homework assignment to you. I want to see if you'll really do this, and I want to see what kind of person are you? Are you a fanboy or are you a fan? And if you come to find out that you're a fanboy, you're subscribed to these assholes with these egos, can you sever that tie? Can you actually step away from it and realize what it is? Do that for me and then respond with a comment below the video and tell me what you found. It's going to be our little social experiment. So there you are. finally finished what you've been working on. I mean, you've been working on this now for a long time. Now, it could vary. Maybe it's an hour, maybe it's a day, maybe it's a week. Hell, maybe you've been working months and months and months on it. You've got your pictures, they're all aligned just like you want them to be. You've got video clips and you've edited them and cleaned them up and you've got them just perfectly placed. You've done your audio, you've put it in programs like Audacity or WavePad, you've cleaned it up, you've removed the background noise. You know, it's set up beautifully. You got the music, the soundtracks on there. I mean, everything is great. This video kicks ass. You know this video kicks ass. And each and every piece of that video is intricate. It is necessary to have the full impact. As you watch it, you see each little bit and each little piece fall into place just perfectly, and you know you've made something good. And you can't wait to upload it. I mean, you're looking forward to uploading this because you know it's going to kick ass. You know you did a good job. So there you are. You've got everything ready. I mean, the video's been compressed. You've converted it to whatever type you want, whether it's DivX or window media file. It doesn't matter. And you go to the content site, maybe it's YouTube or Dailymotion. Again, it doesn't matter. And you upload it. And you're waiting, you're waiting, you're waiting. You're checking constantly. Did it get up there? Is everything okay? Finally, it gets uploaded. And it's processing. And you're like, cool, this is great, this is great. My video is going to be up, and my friends are going to see it. The people who watch my stuff are going to see it. I mean, everything is just fucking perfect. And what happens? An hour later, you turn your computer back on, you come to check, you want to see, oh man, this is going to be awesome. You know, they've probably seen it by now, and I can't wait to see what the reaction is. Because, I mean, in your heart, you know you did a fucking good job. And you click on the video and you go there, and what's waiting for you below the video? A giant pink bar with the words, third-party content removed via WMG, Warner Music Group. And for a second, your brain melts, and rage takes over. And you want to hit your computer, but you're like, fuck that. It's just too damn expensive to do, so you hit your dog. Then your parents yell at you. I'm just fucking with you. I cannot stand Warner Music Group. Now, I had a video I was going to upload today, and because of their third-party complaint, because of the algorithm or whatever search engine they have that shuffles through this shit when you upload it to YouTube, got taken down. I couldn't even get it up there. Now, they have the audio swap option, but that's a joke. So today what I'd like to talk about is Warner Music Group and their asinine policy of removing any soundtrack or any music that happens to be theirs. Everybody's had this happen. Now, we may not see it very much because, and I'm talking about the we as in the sense of the people who are watching this video right now because I know who you guys are. You know, I look at your pages, so I kind of get a feel for who you are. And the majority of us like anime. The majority of us like video games. And so we may not have this happen a lot. But I can guarantee you who it's happening to in fucking droves. AMV makers. Alright? AMV makers are getting the hardest hit by this. You know that joke that every AMV on YouTube has Linkin Park in it? I mean, that's, you know, like every AMV you go to, it's got Naruto and it's got fucking Linkin Park in it. That's not going to be a joke much longer. I mean, that's going to be fucking factual. Eventually, we're going to reach a point where there is only one or two songs that we can play. Where every company out there is removing content, removing videos, muting videos, because it contains a piece of their property. So why is Warner Music Group doing this? I mean, is it having any impact on their business? I mean, from a business standpoint, what's the purpose? Well, let's take a look at Warner Music Group. Let's look at their stock. Now, as you're looking on your screen, you're going to see this is Warner Music Group's stock. It's valued at $4.80 a share. Do you notice anything interesting? Do you notice how the stock has gone completely into the fucking toilet? Now, some have argued that music groups like Warner are removing content because it's hurting their bottom line. But I'd like to postulate a different answer. I'd like to say that by looking at this, the opposite is true. People have had the internet for a while in the capacity that they can torrent, they can go to peer-to-peer sites, they can download what they want, they can use Real Player. There's a vast majority, there are many, many different means of stealing music if we want to. And this has all been well before 2006. So, if stealing music on the internet, if getting music off the internet was hurting WMG's bottom line, we wouldn't see this steady increase up to 2006. Instead, it would be flatlined. It would be flatlined all the way from, I guess, maybe 2001, 2002, where it became really easy just to get music offline, or online, I'm sorry. Instead, what we see is, when they became difficult about this, when they started playing hardball with people online, their stock went down. Do you know why their stock went down? Because people don't like getting fucked with. Now, they could have done this 100 different ways. They could have said to anybody who wanted to use their music, here's the deal. We'll put a disclaimer in your video description saying we have no relation with the content that it's used in, and you have to put a link down to a site that sells it for, like the Apple Store or an MP3 site, something like that. So they have the option of buying it. And that would have worked. They would have seen an increase because more people would have watched the videos, they would have heard the songs, they would have wanted to own it. Now, granted, a good majority probably would have just taken it, but they can take it now. Look at this stock. Really, look at the ineptitude of the business management at Warner Music Group. It is clear as day that from 2006 all the way till 2009, they have done nothing but fuck up. And between 2006 and 2009 is when they became aggressive online. Why would you continue a business strategy that obviously is hurting your bottom line? It doesn't make sense. It is against their own interest to fuck with people like this. It obviously is showing no profitability. It's not increasing their stock in the least. It's hurting their business. Because people recognize that name. They recognize Warner Music Group, and they don't like them. It doesn't need to be, people think that, oh, you can get back at them, we'll do some massive boycott, boycott their products. Doesn't even need to do that. We don't even need to do that. People so hate them right now for this kind of behavior that there doesn't need to be organization. People are coming to this conclusion on their own. They are taking away a form of entertainment that people are using in their videos. Now, some would say, well, they have a copyright. They have every right to do that. That's true. They do. They have every right to do that. But again, I'd say look at the stock that's sitting right on the page before you. Do you think that their behavior has helped them in any way? I'm looking at it right now, and it sure as shit doesn't seem like it to me. Now, interestingly enough, you'll see a bit of an upswing at the very end of that at that bar. Right at the very end. And do you know what that's from? They hired somebody else. They hired somebody on the 22nd of April that made the stock swing up. And they've appointed him to a position called Digital Initiatives. And his name is Ron Wilcox. Well, Mr. Wilcox, I truly hope that in your position, which I have a feeling has to do with this kind of stuff, you take a different approach. I really, really hope for the future of your company and for the value of your stock and the happiness of your stockholders that you seriously look at the way that Warner Music Group has handled itself on YouTube and other content sites. We are seeing YouTube set up a situation where nobody will use music. Okay? All we're going to have for our choice of music in our fucking videos are instrumentals or completely indie music. And I'm sorry, some of that stuff might be good, but the majority fucking sucks. We want to use the artist. When people do AMVs, they have a song in their head. They have a song in their head and they bust their ass for it. And when they finally get that thing together, it fucking crushes them when they upload it and this happens. Because what do they have to do? They have to go back into the editing program. They have to go back into their video. They have to find another song, clean it up again, get everything synced up the way they want it to be, convert it to what they need it to be, compress it, re-upload it, and hope to God that it doesn't happen a second time. Warner Music Group and companies that are taking this approach of removing content directly from videos that have just been uploaded are hurting their own bottom line. It is bad business, and it pisses me off. And I'm sure it pisses a majority of you off. This shit kills the internet. I talked about egos. This is another part. Companies that don't understand their market. Companies that don't understand their consumer. You cannot alienate your consumer and expect to make a profit. It does not work like that. You may set up yourself a miniature empire on YouTube, but it'll cost you. It'll cost you in consumers going to the store to buy CDs. It will cost you in consumers going to websites to get MP3s. You are making a lot of enemies online by fucking with us. I think the way they view this is parasitic. They look at us like parasites. They get no benefit from allowing us to use their music, and that's true. I say instead of taking a hostile stance, they could look at it more like a symbiotic relationship. Release a statement in a video description saying that you are, there's no liability on your end for whatever the content of the video is that happens to have a song of yours in it, and then work out a deal where anybody who uses your music has to put a link at the very bottom right below the video to where that song is sold. I guarantee you will see an increase in your profits and an increase in your name brand, and your stock will go up. But if you continue along the path that you're doing right now, you're going to lose so many customers it's not going to be funny. You cannot fight the consumer and win. Not in a recession, especially not now. Now people are becoming more money conscious. Now people are becoming less trusting of corporations and more hostile towards them. If you fuck with us, We will fuck with you, and you will be the next group that's sitting before the president asking to get your ass bailed out. So my question to you is this, another homework assignment, if you will. How many times has this happened to you? How many times have you uploaded a video that you worked hard on, regardless of what it was, and had a third-party copyright claim hit it before you could even get one view on it, before you could even view it yourself in its complete form? What was it? Why was the reason for it? And how did you get around it? Write it in the comment section. I'm interested to hear your replies. The Pretender Syndrome. What an interesting little name it is. This is Dr. Jim81 Jim, here to tell you about the health concerns of this sick disease that seems to be everywhere on the goddamn internet. And boy, have I been waiting to do this fucking one. It's kind of a long story, but I'm going to sum it up really quick. Not that the other two videos in this series that I've done haven't been personal. I mean, I've had WMG fuck with my stuff on YouTube. I've met people with egos, but this one's personal to me because I fucking hate it. So here's my little story. Here's my little background before we jump into it. I was a member at a forum. I'm not going to name the forum, but I was a member there. Let's just say it was about anime. Anyway, people there were complete assholes, man. I fucking loved it. We were cunts. We were assholes to anybody who'd show up. You would come and you would post your intro thread, and we would tell you what a big faggot you were. We would call you a nigger and a kike and a spick. We were horrible people, man, and it was fucking great. I loved it. I loved that hatred. I loved the attitude of the people there. I loved just everything about it. It was a fucking great place. And for months this went on. New people would come in. We'd treat them like shit. But it wasn't necessarily that we're being dicks to be dicks. Well, we were. But there's another purpose to it. We were poking these people. That's how, that was how you got in. We poked you. Are you worthy to be a member here? And then one day it all came to an end. I had been a member there for 6 months. And then one day this member showed up from out of the blue, and everything went to hell. And I had to leave. Long story short, some guy came and he made an intro thread, and just like usual, I went in there, I read it, and I can't remember it in complete detail, but he had mentioned he was Mexican. He mentioned he was Mexican and he liked anime. So I made some comment to the effect of, I've never heard of a Mexican who liked anime. Don't the DVD box cases weigh you down when you're trying to jump the fence to get into my country? A nice little nudge, a nice little poke to see how he'd react. Just like we'd done to every single person who'd come there before. When I showed up, my intro thread, I was called a fag, a nigger, a kike, and flamed to hell and back. But I dealt with it, and that's how I became a member. I mean, it was, it's a ritual. It's a baptism by fire. You can call it what you like, but that was the attitude. That was the custom there. But this new member who I'm going to call the Crying Red Faggot, because that actually is very close to what their username is. So anyway, Crying Red Faggot, who's been there for 3 days, shows up and tells me I'm a naughty boy. I'm a horrible person for using such racist comments, and I should be punished. I should be spanked by the internet stick, by the internet police for being such a bad person. And what the hell happened? Well, 2 of the regular members showed up and actually sided with this person. So I figured, okay, I could throw a tantrum, I could freak out, or I could just leave. So I chose to leave, I made a new signature for my account with, a person cutting the wrist in the bathtub. It was like a morgue photo or something. And I put, I permabanned myself on my account, and I contacted an admin and said, hey, can you ban the account so nobody can use it after I leave? And that was it. And, God, that was like 8 months ago. I mean, it was, a long time ago. Well, I happened to stumble onto this forum again. And it is just in tatters. You see, before I left, I had left a message basically saying, if you let this person come in here who's been here for 1 week, like 3 days to 1 week, and let him or her, I don't know what it was, but him or her, dictate the terms of how regular members behave, this place is going to go to fucking hell. It is going to become a repository, a fucking haven of white knights, emos, and fags, and it is going to fuck the whole place up. And sure enough, when I show back up, right, I was like, wow, I haven't seen this place in a while. Half the regular members are gone. It is just, it's not the same place anymore. So I signed up for a new account, and lo and behold, the people who had stuck around agreed with me. They're like, yeah, this person fucked this place up. They ruined this place. They ruined what it was about. Well, how did they ruin it? Right? I mean, how did they get in there to ruin it? Ah, that's what brings us to the subject matter of the video. The pretender syndrome. We've seen these people everywhere. They are everywhere on the internet. They're a fucking plague. Spax is bad enough, right? But I will give Spax credit for the fact that he is a fuck-up in his own right. Spax may be a failure, but by God, Spax is Spax. He doesn't try to be somebody else. He's content at failing at being himself. And bravo to you, motherfucker. Bravo, Alexander, for being a failure in your own right. I respect that. I respect that more than people with this syndrome. I respect that more than people with pretender syndrome. Pretender syndrome exists everywhere, like I said. You'll see it on 4chan. It'll be a new fake. He'll come in and he won't understand what sauce means. There'll be a picture, a porno picture, whatever. You know, I'll pick something somebody likes, whatever. And somebody will, you know, say sauce. You know, what's the source of this picture? This dipshit won't know what that means. But he'll regurgitate that word everywhere he goes. He'll use pedo bear, he'll use memes, he'll dance the dance, and he'll talk the talk, he'll lurk ad, and he'll read all the articles he can, and he'll build up this base of knowledge, and he'll act like he knows what the fuck he's doing. But the truth is he doesn't. He's never been there. He was there once. He just wants to seem like he knows what he's doing. That's what these people do. They come to a forum, they come to a website, and they pretend. They pretend they know the in-jokes. They pretend they know the memes. They pretend that they understand the culture. But they don't. They don't understand it. What they're seeking to do is use this knowledge like leverage. A bully pulpit. They think that if they can impress upon you, if they understand the subculture of whatever they're trying to emulate, that they have some kind of authority behind what they say. But they don't. What they do is they show up. They make an impact. They post and they talk and they talk and they talk and they talk. They'll accumulate thousands, 2,000, 3,000 posts in a month. They will regurgitate everything they've heard on any other site. And they will use that as leverage to bully older members. They will use that as leverage to divide a community. They pretend to understand what is going on. They pretend to grasp the culture. But it's only superficial. It's only on the surface. You can break it. You can completely cut right through it. If you ask them something of detail, they won't be able to answer it. Something of detail. Just something that they wouldn't know. It could be as simple as them saying they've been a regular on B forever, but then they use a capital letter when they're talking about it. It could be somebody who doesn't get the fact when you mention magazines that you're referring to something awful. But they don't get it. They don't understand what that, you know, how that relates. Because they don't understand the fucking joke. They don't get where it comes from. They are merely pretending. They are regurgitating what they've heard and what they've read, and they try to use that as leverage. So this faggot, the crying red faggot, is still there. He or she, I don't know what it is. They're still there. Hated by everybody, at least I think. I hope. God, I hope they're hated by everybody for what they've done. And they immediately start shit with me. Because, you know, I called them out on being what they were. And I called them out and I said, hey, I was right. You fucked this place into the ground by your bullshit. You know, they came in and the first thing they did was they tried what they've seen on every other forum. They tried to be nice. And so they bullied me about being a racist evil bastard, even though that's how this place operates. Okay? Once I'm gone, and a bunch of other people leave as well over the, you know, I guess from what I've read and what I've been able to find out, over the next couple of months, a lot of people left, right? They start to mimic the behavior of the people who are left, right? They don't have a personality of their own. That's always a problem with somebody who has the pretender syndrome. They aren't an actual person. They don't have defined characteristics about themselves. They don't have a personality or likes or dislikes. They will mimic what they see. They will pick the more popular or the more noticeable members of a group or you know, a forum, a website, whatever, and they will mimic them because they think by emulating those people that they somehow now have the authority those people do. What they don't understand is it's a hierarchy. It's first come, first serve. It is seniority based. The longer you're, you know, the longer you belong to something, the more seniority you have there. These people don't understand that. They think that they can cut to the front of the line, basically, by, you know, doing this, by regurgitating this stuff. And it's horrible. They're everywhere, I swear to God. You cannot go somewhere and not see somebody try to throw some 4chan reference out or talk about something they don't fucking know. But they will stick to it. They will stick to it so hard because they want you to believe that lie. They want you to believe the hype, the bullshit, the drama. They repeat it and they regurgitate it and they mimic it, and it's fucking sickening. So it looks like I'm going to do a two-parter on this one. Like I said, I'm really into this subject just because of this personal experience with the crying red faggot. Now, why do they want to jump to the front of the line? Like I said, most places are based on a seniority structure. The longer you're there, the more authority you have, the more weight you carry. Because the community sees it as a dedication or a devotion, or as you putting an effort out to be a part of the group. You've earned the respect. You've earned the right to be heard. These people, however, don't want to go through that process. It's like gloating without an accomplishment. They want the reward, they want the praise, but they don't want to put the work in. So they seek to undermine other people and cut off the older members of a group and, create their own little miniature following. Like, oh, look, I know what this means, and haha, I get the in-joke, and, I'm a part of you guys, and once they weasel their way in there, they fuck the community into the ground. And they are everywhere. I mean, you will see them everywhere. I guarantee that if you think about it, you can picture the person I'm talking about. You've run into the person. You've been a member somewhere for a long time, and you've seen this person come in. And don't misunderstand me. I'm not talking about, somebody who has a penchant for spamming. I don't give a shit if you want to post 5,000, times in a day. Knock yourself out. That's not necessarily a criteria to be somebody who has a syndrome. It's just kind of their MO, It's one of the things they do. Like I said, they pretend to know what they're talking about. They try to get themselves out there as much as they can, and they seek to divide a community. And this person has. This person has ruined this place. And I look forward to crushing them. I look forward to driving them off and to trying to restore that place to what it was. Now, I know a lot of you might be thinking, well, God, I've seen your videos before, and I saw the SPAC stuff, and I've seen some of your game LPs or whatever, and, you seem like quite an asshole when you're talking about this place and how you treat other people. Of course. That's the point. That's what this place was. We were assholes. We were dicks. That was the great part about this. You have to understand that each place on the internet has its own rules and its own way of operating. And if you want to be a part of that, if you want to be a member of that group, of that culture, you need to adapt. You need to earn your way in by following the rules, by understanding how it is people act there, and by being able to understand that just because you act a certain way on one forum or on one site does not mean that you necessarily have to carry that over to every place that you go. That's another thing these people don't understand. They think that 4chan is 4chan everywhere. They think that something awful is something awful everywhere. They will take all these little tidbits of knowledge that they have, and they will apply them in full force on the, on the worst play or in the worst possible situation that they can. They will go to, a My Little Pony forum and talk about, talk about Boxy. Nobody what do people on a My Little Pony forum want to talk about Boxy for? They don't even know who the fuck that is. But these people have this idea that, like, the internet is so interconnected that everybody gets a joke. They don't understand the whole principle of a subculture, of the uniqueness that a group gets by creating its own identity, by creating its own way of interacting and its own jokes, and it's just its own everything, its own unique, je ne sais quoi. But these fuckers, they take it and they pollute it and they throw it out everywhere and they try to bombard people with it. And they create this false sense. It is the person who will claim to be a hacker and doesn't know how to fucking write script. It's the person who will say they're a troll, but they've never done it. It's a person who says they've gone to the Chans, but they only know the one that starts with the number 4. It's a person who says they're a member of something awful, but doesn't know you have to pay a membership fee. It's that kind of person. And they are everywhere, and they're ever prevalent. They're like an avalanche of failure. You can't fight it. The louder you yell, the stronger the avalanche gets. It bombards, it descends upon you. There's nothing you can do. It consumes you. And it pushes you away, and it pushed me away. It pushed me away off the site because I figured, okay, they've won. They've won. And the only way that I can salvage this situation is to walk away and let what happens there happen. And it did, and it happened, and it ruined the place. And that sucks because, like I said, I liked that place. I liked the way the people were. I liked the attitude. It was a fun place to go. But this person came in and they fucked it up. They fucked it up probably like they fucked every other place they've gone to up. That's the one final point these people don't get, though. That to be a part of anything, you need to earn your way in. And most of the time, you know, after you've earned your way in, you need to show a dedication by actually supporting that community in whatever way that might be. Usually, generally, it's by sticking around. It's by the amount of time you've put into that place. That's what they don't understand. That's what they don't get. They want all the accolades, they want all the glory, all the praise, but they don't want to earn it. And it's that kind of shit that ruins a place. Because what they do is they piss over the people who have earned it. They drive those people away, and they ruin what made that place great. Alright, they drive away the people who post well, they drive away the people who are funny, they drive away the people who know shit and where to find shit, they drive them away to other places. And they kill that community that used to be so great. That community that you loved, that you fucking loved. They kill it. And this person, this crying red faggot, and I really hope they do get to see this because they're going to know who they are. Because like I said, the username, it's a play off of their username. There's no way you can mistake it. If you happen to see this video, crying red faggot, you are what's wrong with the internet. You and your ilk are what's wrong with the internet. Spax is bad enough, but you, my friend, suck. And I'm going to look forward to driving you off of that forum. And I'm going to win. I'm going to get your ass cast out of there. Like the leper that you are. And your pestilence and your bullshit can go with you. Take it back to DeviantArt. Take it back to the My Little Pony forum, motherfucker. We don't want you there. You're not welcome there. Go the fuck away. And next time you try to use an hero, use it properly, you stupid fuck.
Let me show you how I'm working. Oh, I'm working harder than 100 black mules out in Mexico. No water, no cloud, no cover from the hotter than hell. No dinner bell at the oven again. From another bad opinion, I mean, who doesn't want the cars, money, fame, attention, bars, honeys, games, attention, stars? Funny how we say we don't need it, and I'm trying to achieve it. The price tag on the things I need, I get it paid no blind a day. I got a bullet with my name.
Television was great when I was a kid. You know, when I was 8 or 9 years old, because I grew up kind of in the late 80s and the early 90s, I was able to enjoy television more than kids do nowadays. Because back when I was a kid, we had a 3 or a 4 hour block every Saturday morning of really kick-ass cartoons. You had the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, you had Ghostbusters, you had Care Bears, you had Robotech, you had Voltron, and 100 other shows, all of them very good. Great, they were entertaining. It was NBC, CBS, ABC, Fox, UPN, didn't matter. But you would pick your channel, you would sit down with your bowl of cereal, and you'd watch that shit till it was done. Television as a whole was like that when I was a kid. Hell, MTV used to play music videos. You know, think about that for a second. MTV played music. You know, it wasn't some 16-year-old whore bitching about not getting a BMW on her 16th birthday, or, you know, a bunch of strangers living in a house together talking about gay marriage and interracial relationships. It was just music. Now, there was a trade-off for that entertainment, namely commercials. You would sit down and you watch your TV shows and you'd watch a few commercials. You'd get, you know, your show would run for maybe 6-7 minutes, and you'd sit down and you watch a minute or two of commercials. That was the trade-off. And that was fine, because at the time, myself and everyone else, that was the entertainment medium we had. Sure, there were video games, but the main entertainment medium we had was television. And so we didn't look at commercials as annoying, or as a pain in the ass. Sure, we didn't like them, but we kind of accepted it as a necessary evil. If I want to watch Ghostbusters, I've got to watch 3 minutes about, you know, Quaker Oats. You know, it was the trade-off, and I accepted it, and my childhood kicked ass. Like I said, great entertainment. But I've noticed something weird over the last couple of years. I don't watch TV anymore. And the reason I don't watch TV anymore is because even though those commercials weren't intrusive back in the day, it was a necessary evil, I didn't mind doing that trade-off, I don't have to do it anymore. The internet has made it so I don't ever have to do that anymore. Why should I wait till one specific day of the week, to a specific time of that day, to watch a show when I can just go online, click a link, or do a Google search and watch the show instantly? Not just instantly, but watch it over and over again, go to a certain section, download it, keep it, watch it, share it, doesn't matter. I have instant access to anything that I could possibly want to watch. I don't have to go to movie theaters even anymore to watch a movie. I can watch it instantly when I want to. And so over the last few years I've grown accustomed to instant gratification, of being able to find the content I want instantly. And because of it, I've kind of turned my back on television. I think a majority of people have turned their back on television. Yeah, everybody still has it, everybody still watches occasionally, but their main preference now, the thing they use the most when they want to watch something or when they want to be entertained, is the internet. And for quite a while that went along just fine. People could find what they want, they could watch what they want, and everything was well and good. And I grew accustomed to it. A lot of people have, of getting what they want when they want it and enjoying it. You know, you take it and you leave it as it is. But something's gone hand in hand with that over the years, namely advertisements. Now, a big buzzword on the internet today is Web 2.0. It's this idea of interactivity, that you're not just using the internet anymore, you're taking part in creating it. If you look at something like MySpace or Twitter or Facebook, content sites like YouTube or Dailymotion or Veo, you're not just watching the video, you're not just visiting the site, you're making a web page, you're creating a video, you're laying groundwork for other people to enjoy that entertainment and in part create their own. You know, this kind of ever-expanding interactivity, and it's going to be great in Web 2.0, it's fantastic. What nobody took into account, or what we all seem to forget, is that advertisements are going to go hand in hand with that. You see, all those television guys, all those ad guys that used to play those 3 minutes of commercials, those 5 minutes of commercials during your, half an hour cartoon, they're not out of a job. They're just moving to new territory. They're coming to a new market. And so when we use the word Web 2.0 and talk about this great, birth and expansion of interactivity and this renaissance on the internet, people forget that that applies to corporations and companies as well. And what I want to talk about are advertisements, or advertisements 2.0. You can say it however you like. The point is, these people from television have moved onto the internet, and they're fucking up my enjoyment of videos by doing it. Now, I'm not talking about pop-up ads. Everybody deals with pop-up ads. I can create, there's software out there to deal with that. And I'm not talking about commercials either. If you go to a site like southpark.com and you want to watch an episode, you're going to see on the buffering bar that there are going to be advertisements that are going to, pop in and play for like 20 seconds. You're going to have one at the beginning, in the middle, and at the end. And that's fine. It interrupts your video. You watch the ad, and then it goes back to the video. And in the end, that's less advertisement that you're watching on that website than you would on television. So you accept it if you want to watch it, in good quality, and it's a decent site, and I don't mind doing it. And I don't mind watching an advertisement if somebody creates a really great video and I want to support them, like the Spoonie Experiment. If you go to his website and you watch one of his videos, at the very end, Blip TV will put up like a Starburst commercial that'll run for like 2 minutes. And even though I have no interest in that product whatsoever, I watch it each and every time because I like Noah Antweiler. I think he's a funny guy. And if it gets him a few bucks, good for him. He entertained me for 20 minutes. I'm going to sit and watch a 2-minute advertisement. I have no problem doing that because it's not intrusive. At least in my opinion, it's not intrusive because I could always turn off the video window. The advertisements, though, that I want to talk about, the really annoying ones that I think are ruining, what made the internet better than television, are banner ads. Now, everybody here has dealt with these fucking things. In fact, chances are that you're going to see them on maybe 1 out of every 4 videos you go to. I'm talking about the advertisements that take up a fucking half of the screen. Now, back in the day when they first were around, they'd pop up on the screen, they'd take up a fourth of it, the very bottom fourth of the screen, and they'd disappear after a second or two. Or you could even click the close button and it'd disappear. But as time has gone on, these advertising execs, these fucking cunts, have gotten tricky about how they do this. It's no longer just one advertisement banner that pops up. It's like 100. You can't even watch a 4-minute video without 100 of these goddamn advertisements popping up over and over and over and over again. I mean, you can say what you want about how annoying a commercial is, like on South Park popping up and cutting the video off. At least it cuts the video off. These don't even do that. These interrupt the video by completely overlaying the advertisement directly on top of it. Before you could click and it would close it and that was it. And you wouldn't see the goddamn ad. Now they keep popping it up over and over again. It's not just that they show it to you once and you close it. It's going to pop it back up again in 5 seconds. Or if they're real assholes, what they're doing now is you go to hit close and it'll stall it. They put a delay timer in these advertisements now where once you close them, they'll stay on screen for 5 seconds. What this does is it tricks a person into thinking that they didn't hit the close button, so when they go to hit it again, it now opens up the window. It takes you to the site that wants to advertise. Or they'll move the close button from the upper right-hand corner of the advertisement to the upper left-hand corner, or the bottom left-hand corner, or the middle of the advertisement. Or they'll make it the same color as the background color so you can't even tell how to close the fucking window. Or they'll change it from an X to a word, or a different symbol. They keep changing it up and trying to make it more and more difficult for you to close those banners. And what it's doing is it's ruining the video. It's ruining what you're trying to watch. I mean, as bad as commercials were, at least they didn't overlay the goddamn advertisement on top of your episode of fucking Scooby-Doo. Could you imagine watching Ghostbusters and having a Tampax commercial play on the bottom half of the screen while you're watching Velma solve a mystery? It's mind-boggling that these advertisers think this is the way to go. And it's like an Abbott and Costello sketch. I mean, you go to close a goddamn advertisement, it pops open a new window, you have to fucking wait 10 seconds for the web page to load. You go to close that page, you come back to the video, and what do you know, the goddamn banner ad's not gone. It actually stops a video to take you to that other window. You come back, you hit play again, you try to go close the window, and it happens again. It's like some fucking comedy of errors. It just doesn't stop. These advertisements are the worst I've ever seen. I would rather have 1,000 pop-ups hit me, I would rather have 100 commercials put into my video, than have a banner ad come up onto the goddamn video I'm watching and take up half the screen. I mean, has anybody ever honestly said to themselves while they're watching a playthrough of fucking Castlevania for the Super Nintendo that they really want to examine their car insurance rates? Or when you're watching, an angry video game nerd video, have you ever said to yourself, oh, geez, maybe I'd like to take a look at that advertisement for Firestone fucking tires? Nobody has. Nobody ever thinks like that. But these ads, they keep popping up. They're so fucking pervasive. And it's these advertisers, it's these television guys who are out of a job because nobody watches TV anymore coming online. And they're using the thing that we use, Web 2.0, this interactivity, to fuck with us. Because in the end, everybody wants to make money. And so these advertisers think this is the best way to approach it. This is the best way to do it. What they're doing is they're ruining the content for us, and they're taking away what made the internet superior to television. Now, I can't be the only one who feels this way. God help me if I'm the only one who feels this way. If you guys like this, then I'm going to blow my head off, because obviously this world is not the world that I should be living in. So in the comment section, leave your opinion on this, because I know I cannot be alone on how annoying these goddamn banner ads are.